Good morning, students. Today we'll continue with Science 1, chapter number 3. In the previous lecture, we learnt about physical and chemical changes. We learnt about what is the meaning of a chemical reaction, what is the meaning of a chemical equation, how do we write a chemical equation, and how do we balance a chemical equation. Now we'll be starting with types of chemical reaction. Chemical reactions are classified in various types. Based on the number of reactants and products, they are classified as combination reaction, decomposition reaction, displacement reaction, and double displacement reaction. Based on heat exchange, reactions are classified as endothermic and exothermic. Based on the gain of oxygen or hydrogen, they are classified as oxidation reaction, reduction reaction, and redox reaction. So the first type that we'll be learning is called as combination reaction. It is defined when two or more reactants combine in a reaction to form a single product. It is called as a combination reaction. Or in other words, if you can imagine that reactant A reacts with reactant B and forms a product AB, it is called as combination reaction. If you look at the examples given, equation number 12. Ammonia reacts with hydrogen chloride to form ammonium chloride. It's like one reactant, that is ammonia, the second reactant hydrogen chloride, both of them combine to form one product, ammonium chloride. Another example given over here is that of magnesium oxide. Look at the equation number 13. Magnesium reacts with oxygen to form magnesium oxide. The next type of reaction is called decomposition reaction. Decomposition is just the opposite of combination. In combination, we learned that two or more reactants combine together to form one product. In case of decomposition, one reactant breaks up to form two or more products. So we define it as the chemical reaction in which two or more products are formed from a single reactant. It is called as decomposition reaction. That is, AB breaks up to form A plus B. Now, decomposition can be brought about in two ways. If we are using heat to break up the bonds and form the product, it is called as thermal decomposition. If you look at the example, equation number 16, that is CaCO3, calcium carbonate, when it is heated, it forms calcium oxide and carbon dioxide gas is given out. The other type of decomposition reaction is when electric current is passed through. The example given is equation number 18. Water, if you are passing electricity through it, it can break down into hydrogen and oxygen. This process is also called as electrolysis. The next type of reaction is displacement reaction. As the name suggests, displacement means to displace or remove and take its place. We have seen that in many reactions, a more reactive element displaces a less reactive element and changes the equation. The reactivity of elements, we'll be learning more about it in the metallurgy chapter. It is the displacement reaction is defined as the reaction in which the place of the ion of a less reactive element in a compound is taken by another more reactive element by the formation of its own ion is called as displacement reaction. If you see the equations given, you can complete the equation. CuSO4 plus Fe forms FeSO4 plus Cu. Fe, that is iron, being more reactive than copper, displaces copper from copper sulfate and takes its place. In the same way, CuSO4 plus Pb is lead, forms PbSO4, that is lead sulfate, plus Cu. Double displacement reaction. The reaction in which the ions in the reactants are exchanged to form a precipitate are called as double displacement reaction. So these are the four type of reaction that we learned: combination, decomposition, displacement, and double displacement. These the reactions were based on the nature and the number of reactants and products. Now the next type of classification is based on heat exchange. Now we have learned that when there is a chemical reaction takes place, it involves the breaking of bonds and formation of new bonds. For this purpose, many a times heat is absorbed by the reactants, and in certain times heat is given out by the reactants. Now based on that, the reactions are classified as endothermic reaction and exothermic reaction. As the word endo means inside, endothermic reactions are reactions in which heat is absorbed during the chemical change or during the reaction that happens. For example, melting of ice, dissolution or dissolving of potassium nitrate in water. Whereas sometimes heat is given out during certain changes. They are called as exothermic reaction. If you see, there are two examples given over there. Calcium carbonate takes heat and gets converted into CaO plus CO2, that is calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. This is called as endothermic reaction. Whereas if you're dissolving calcium oxide in water, that time heat is given out and it forms calcium hydroxide, CaOH twice. That reaction is called as exothermic reaction.